Yes, lovely people, Dwayne Nathan Jack. Yes, I'm back with another one, and today we're going to be exploring the different levels of transformation. That's right, because there's different levels to this stuff. And I know people do change. You change life, you change habits, you change addictions, you change where you live, you change your mindset, you change your attitude. However, there's different levels because there's actual rebirth where you change everything about you down to the point, let me break it down, it's epigenetics. Epigenetics is where you change the gene. You change so much through your environment, through the way you think, your belief system, that you actually change your gene. Huh. We ready to go deep diving? Are you ready? Wait there. Fasten your seatbelts. Fasten your seatbelts because I'm going to take you a little bit deeper with this one when it comes to epigenetics. So listen, when we're talking about changing the gene, that means changing the cells, the gene within your body. Now, you know when you hear the stories that, my granddad had and my great-granddad had, that is a program, and that program is formed through the DNA, and the same program of the lifestyle, of the thinking, of the behaviors that your ancestors had. But if you change your way of thinking, your belief system, your lifestyle, your environment, and everything about you, guess what? You change the gene. But so often, what you get, the majority of people are carrying heritage because it's monkey see, monkey do. They are doing what their ancestors have done through generation to generation. You have mannerisms. Like I have mannerisms like my dad. I say certain quotes, and let me break it down to you. I remember when my dad used to pick me up, and he'd be driving through Burnham Beaches. These are the lanes. And I'm there small, and he'd be bibbing his horn. And I'm thinking, why is he bibbing his horn? But I didn't. I just let it go because I didn't have much dialogue or consciousness at such a young age to why he was doing it. As I got older and I was driving through the same beaches, I realized the $1 million actualization, realization, he was bibbing the horn because they're sharp bends. So when you're driving, you're giving the drivers that are coming the opposite side towards you a warning because you're bibbing your horn. Because people can drive fast down these lanes and it's a little bit of a warning. So you're bibbing, no one's there, but you're bibbing just in case someone is there to give them a warning, you're coming. Now that was formed within me from a young age. I didn't know why or what it was until I got older. Now imagine that on a more deeper level when you're growing up around your parents. Your parents grew up around their parents and they smoked or whatever or had this or that and they had the same foods or whatever it was, the same mannerisms, the same lifestyle, and if you got the same lifestyle, you're going to give birth to the same diseases A, B, and C. However, here we go, deep diving. Dwayne Nathan Jack, insights and wisdom to change the gene, real transformation. I'm calling the upgrade, identity upgrade. When I became fully conscious, I changed everything about me. I had to delete what I was operating from my mum, my dad, my environments, my culture, and I had to start becoming conscious. And what worked for me. So I'll stop eating this or drinking that. I'll start meditating. I'll start doing this. I'll take myself away from certain people, places and environments. PPE, yes? If you don't know already what PPE is, people, places and environments. What's the difference between places and environments? Places are places where you go. Environment is where you lay. The environment of a plant pot is the fertilizer for the germination of the soil for the seed to grow into the plant, the tree, whatever it may be. So your environment, yeah? So you've got to be conscious with every element of your life down to your environment, the people, places. Then, the deep dive is the internal. Because remember, it's your internal that creates your external. And the cells within your body vibrate at frequencies to either create life or death, depending on the lifestyle. So, let me go back to the original story of the objective of this video. It's different levels of change. I've just took you through different levels at a physical, psychological, energetical levels of transformation, spiritual. However, one can make certain changes psychologically, but it's at surface level because it's just changing the way you're thinking. Then you've actually got the deep dive of changing everything about you. It's called an identity upgrade. That will only happen with the assistance of someone that's been through an identity upgrade themselves and that's operating from a different frequency. And when you're operating from a different frequency and the epigenetics, guess what? It will even change the features of your face, your body type, A, B, and C, because of how high that frequency is in the higher realms to the lower realms. If you're operating and living from the lower dense, a low frequency, guess what? You're gonna look tired. Your body shape's gonna look tired. You're gonna look tired of life. Your eyes, your skin, your glow, it's gonna be dense. To someone that's operating from a high frequency, you'll see it's pure light. Their shape, their eyes, everything about them, there'll be a glow because there's a difference. So I'm asking you the question, are you operating from the lower dense or the higher frequency? And there's nothing wrong if you are there, but this is where the information is here. Now, you can receive the information and you can go away, go back to life like you didn't hear this information, or you can then swallow the red pill and come and find out more so you can grow, you can learn and become the person that you was destined to be. Or you can be ignorant and think, oh, that seems as too much, it's too uncomfortable because I'm going to have to sacrifice certain things. And that's where you get the minority that go through the narrow path and you get the majority that follow the wide path because you think it's easier, but it's not. It's more painful. How do I know? Because I've been there. I was my own worst enemy. And that's why I do what I do. And I love what I do and I do what I love and I'm not working. It's because I'm here to serve. I'm here to bring information and knowledge to prevent suffering, pain, misery, disease, and death. So the question I asked you and the question of the video, there is change. There's different levels of change. How painful is your pain? Because how painful your experiences are will determine what level of change you're seeking. The more pain, the more higher levels of change you want, because you just don't want that. Not so, it's manageable. You might be a business owner, entrepreneur, you might have money in there, so you're a bit distracted on the glittery stuff, but really deep down, you know you need change. But it's not that painful. You can still pretend and go on like you're good, because they can't see behind the closed doors. But then are you being truthful to yourself and everyone else? And let me break it down to you. The more authentic you are and more truthful and vulnerable you become and be you, the more life flows for you and through you in ways that you couldn't even believe. But this path of transformation and change takes sacrifice. Why? Because you've built friendships, associations, colleagues, and all this stuff. And the character that you've been playing along that journey has not served you. You've become a character maybe from teenage years into your 20s, 30s, 40s, or possibly 50s. And you've become a character that's not really you. It's just time started ticking, habits started coming, started experimenting, smoking, drinking, maybe sniffing cocaine. And then you're becoming this guy, but this guy or this woman isn't even you. But because you've been doing it so long, you've become the character that you're not serving yourself. But then it makes the $1 million question of change. Are you ready to sacrifice? Are you ready to walk the path that less travel? That's why there's a minority of people that are very successful. And I'm not saying successful with the riches, I'm saying successful from the inside out. There's a very minority because it's a balance. Now, it is a decision, there is sacrifice, and there's working with the people that have the A to Z to be able to do that interior and exterior so that your vehicle is shining from the inside out and the outside in. And it takes work, and it's not easy. And the full identity upgrade, sometimes people have to hit the rock bottom to then be open and willing, because life's humbled us. That was me. In 2012, life humbled me, all right. Humbled me to the point where I was only left. You strip a man or woman with everything from them, and all they're left with is their self. And then it's being yourself that opens the doors of opportunity, and you realize that you wasn't even living because it was falsehood, it wasn't real. And the minute you start stepping into who you truly are and not caring what people think or say because you know who you are, you don't need validation, that's the beginning of life. And I can honestly say with my hand on my heart that in 2012, when I had my moment, my epiphany, my spiritual awakening, or God entered me and transformed me, grace, whatever you want to call it, I haven't been the same since. And it was a real inside job. And this is where I help people do it now. So I am going to love you and leave you now. I'm asking you, what level of change do you really want? Do you want full immersion, the whole identity upgrade, or do you just want a few little shifts and change within just to reduce, minimize risk, get a little bit more sustainability, longevity? Or is there certain habits that you want to change? Is there certain people? Or is there some change that you want within your business life or within your personal life, with your mindset, behavior, attitude? What is that kind of change? Because there is different levels. So I ask you the question, I'll leave it with you. If you need any help with that change, I'm always around. If you haven't already, do subscribe, and I will see you on another one.